Hello, this is Michelle Payton, and I created a two-part video on the physiology of learning and positive hypnosis overall. So more of the technical aspects of the process. This video is about using the physiology of learning and positive hypnosis to look at financial, intellectual, physical, social, or spiritual goals. I call that F.I.P.S.S. So have a writing utensil available and a piece of paper or however you take notes. You'll be pausing this video to complete step-by-step exercises. And if you have any questions on the process overall, you can see the above referenced videos in the Education Center as well if you want to learn a little bit more about the technical aspects of this concept. So you'll see that this is in the previous two-part video on how we learn through reassociation. I'm not going to spend time on this, but know that that's here if you want to go back and look at it. But that's what this is based on. How do we learn? How do we relearn? And how do we use positive hypnosis to do that? So first, let's talk about different subjects: financial, intellectual, physical, social, spiritual concepts. And when we look at positive hypnosis, most of the time, we're spending time researching in our minds the positive frames of each of these ideas. And you can see a number of those outlined here. So first, what we're going to do with the positive hypnosis process is we're going to find one of your areas of life to focus on for the entire part of this experiential video. So step one, pause this video and write down one thing you don't want in F.I.P.S.S, the financial, intellectual, physical, social, spiritual. And some of those examples are outlined here. Why do I say that? A lot of times we know what we don't want. Then we have to go to what we do want. Once you finish step one, you go to step two. You pause this video and you change the wording as if you've achieved the opposite of don't want to what you do want. And this will be our focus for the rest of this learning exercise. So some examples could be positive relationships, prosperity, healthy body, for instance. When we move to step three, pausing this video, we're going to, or you actually are going to think about 3 to 4 specific examples on what you do want. So say you want positive relationships. So your core need is positive relationships, and you're positively reframing by looking at memories. I also call those rehabits because we're remembering those memories to reuse them. And we're finding positive memories for relationship, maybe with a friend from school, a colleague, a companion, a server at a restaurant. But these experiences have to be specific. So again, pause this video and record 3 to 4 specific experiences on do want. I'm using positive relationships, but you can focus on any other F.I.P.S.S concept. If you have a question about F.I.P.S S, you can rewind this and see what F.I.P.S S is. I've done that chart. I did that chart earlier. So here's what we're going to do for the next steps. When I do a session, I record information as I facilitate people's quick experiences on a specific concept, on a specific core need. So positive relationships is our core need in this particular example. You will have something potentially different. So relationship 1, 2, 3, 4, you can see where I put this, and I put this in this chart quickly. These are quick ideas that keep us on the positive relationships, positive relationships, positive relationships, positive relationships train, our train of thought. And when we focus on one need, that moves us into an alpha state, an alpha brainwave state. And I'm going to explain that a little bit more. So when we move into alpha, you can see, look at beta. Beta is when we're really alert. We really don't have to relearn anything, or we're hurried, we're chaotic, we're moving quickly. And beta is our day-to-day. Get in my car, drive, and all the things that I have to do to move on day to day. I'm not doing any new learning. Sometimes this is hyper alert. Sometimes this is just alert and moving through the day. But what we're looking at here is alpha. You can see alpha says more relaxed brain waves. I talk about this more in my other training video with the two-part series. But this is where, when we become more focused, we start to move into that space of very, okay, I'm looking at positive relationships. This is what happened in positive relationships. This is what happened in positive relationships. So if we start to move off the concept, we say, oh, no, I have to remember to stay on this focus. I have to stay on topic. Okay, so step 4, when you pause this video, you visualize with multiple senses every detail of those experiences that we quickly outlined. Now, I'm going to make some quick suggestions here. These are small examples. They could be seconds, maybe minutes, but they're rarely huge aha memories. And if you begin to move into yeah, but, say you're remembering a great experience with a relationship, but all of a sudden you say, yeah, but it's really started to go bad. Stop yourself there. You crop out that piece. It's not that that piece doesn't exist. It's just that we are focusing on the positive parts of how you developed your positive achievements. Visualize details of 3 to 4 of your experiences in this from step 3. Okay, so your detailed experiences will be logged here. And if you're journaling, then you're going to be writing down all of the multisensory experiences from, if you see point 1 in general, a friend from school, then you go into your detailed experience and write down see, hear, feel, smell, all those things that you experienced when you were focusing on positive relationships and how that worked. Now, another thing that you do is you anchor these memories with 1 to 3 words, and this increases your recall of these particular experiences. I'm making up things like, for number 1, beach joke. Number 2 is team success. Number 3, mountain hike. Number 4, kind server. Making those up. But as you create your recreate and remember the detailed experiences, this is the sort of thing that you're going to want to do so that you can pick those up quickly. And I'm going to explain to you again why and very, very soon. So here's what we've done so far. Here's the process. 1 core need. We're targeting our achievement that's positive. We have many rehabits. So look where those rehabits are. Positive specific memories, beach joke, team success. See where I put those? Those are your memories. We're calling those rehabits. Those rehabits are things that we're remembering so that we can reuse them to, and now here's the satisfaction piece, to have a great inner circle. So the satisfaction words is another summary that says, if I have positive relationships, I know I have a great inner circle, and I am satisfied with that. So this is where we're headed overall when we look at what we're achieving with positive hypnosis. So here, the one thing that we say, well, gosh, yeah, sure, I have these positive reframes, but I have all these blocks. We know that the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. It is impossible to process differently if we're blocked. So how do we get rid of those blocks now that we've built and rebuilt the idea of knowing that we have been able to create positive relationships? Well, to move from the blocks to achievement, you collapse the bad with the good. I call this a T-map. This problem solution kind of concept is not a new one. We've seen this with emotional freedom technique, and we've seen this with NLP, or neuro-linguistic programming. So for those of you who know what that is, you'll understand what I'm saying, but I'll explain a little bit more of that soon. But you're adding the don't want experience to the problem side of the TMAP, and to build your strength of do want, and to revise your pattern so that you're doing something differently. You put the positive experiences or your rehabits on the solution side. So here's an example. You have a specific terrible experience with a colleague. Work situations can get tough. Now here's solution. You could pick one solution, team success. That's colleague to colleague. But you could also pull from other solutions if you really want to powerfully collapse this problem. So you might refer to 3 really solid examples to show you what positive relationships look like. So the idea here is to put some energy in remembering terrible colleague experience, but put more energy in remembering the solution. Now, one thing that you can also do, even if you're not interested in emotional freedom technique, you can go to my EFT training video under the education page in my website. You can also go to one of my other books to read about EFT, but you can see that format, problem solution format. In that particular case, you're going to remember the problem, and then you're going to spend a lot of time re-experiencing and amping up the sensory data from the solution. Now, another thing that you'll do is you'll rank emotional duress for measurement. So you could measure what that problem is, having a problem with colleague, 0 to 10. And then as you remember the solution, you'll notice that the ranking of the emotional duress is less. But that comes from your perception of the problem and your perceptions of the solutions. Now, I am not going to be able to help you right now collapse something in real time at this moment. But there are other options for you to learn more about these concepts. But I wanted to give you a general sense while keeping this video short enough for it to be usable for you. So you can go to my website. You can get my book on this subject. You can read educational videos. You can listen to educational videos on EFT and see the 2-part video as well. And we can also explore face-to-face options, sessions, and workshops. So please let me know what questions I might be able to answer. You can go to my website and go to contact, and you can email me with questions. You could also give me a call and discuss that as well. Thanks for listening and watching this video. Again, go to michellepayton.com if you have any questions, and I'll look forward to answering any questions that you might have in the future.